What's up, guys? Welcome to this next episode of the Special Operations Wall Fighting System we're doing with Cody here at High Altitude Martial Arts. If you guys haven't seen the series, we're breaking down, kind of giving an overall, top view of what this program we're putting together is going to be like. And essentially, it's just combining special operations with MMA and giving our SWAT guys a way better approach to dealing with a wall fighting system and dealing with CQB and how to effectively fight inside a house. And we think it's the best thing that's happened to the special operations community, to include civilian special operations. So we think this is going to be awesome. We already have SWAT teams hitting us up trying to get the program, but you guys are kind of going along with us as we're developing it and really honing it in. So obviously you see the next phase is kind of starting to put on some kit, and then we're going to keep advancing that until we're at full battle rattle, full kit, and using this system, so that way by the time we invite a SWAT team in to do the training, it's fully perfected. So I'm going to shut my trap and let the pro take over, and we'll let you guys see what's next.
I always like to give credit where it's due. The team that I belong to, even within a team, so I'm talking about my partner in coaching, Vinny Lopez, and then a couple of key guys, particularly Curtis Blades and Zach Pauga.
Oh, I love Curtis.
These are guys that are writing this system on a daily basis. We're going to be talking about action hand today, and the things that Vinny Lopez and Zach have done with the action hand recently, and even in Zach's last fight. We're really pushing the limits of what that can do. And we're going to push that even further in this system, obviously, because there's a lot more variables. But I just want to give a shout out to my team, those guys. I'm in the lab with them on a daily basis, developing this for MMA, and testing it and getting back that data. And I'm really excited to how it applies to what we're doing here with the gear and things like that. Oh, yeah. So, in the last session, we talked about establishing head position, right? And the importance of head position to slow down this twist and turn and 50-50 dynamic that happens on the wall, via the different dynamics that we've discussed in previous videos. Why head position? Well, head position stops his movement, and head position allows me to designate an action hand. Now in MMA, this action hand might look like controlling gloves, setting up strikes, and setting up wrestling and things like that. Obviously, this action hand is going to do a lot more in what we do, right? Action hands can be used to strike. Action hands can be used to control limbs. Action hands can be used to disarm people. Action hands can be used to secure my own gear. Action hands can be used to attack, right? In video 2, we talked about we could have different levels of opponents. If this is a civilian, right, my action hand's probably just chilling this guy out, making sure that he's not getting off this wall. Hey man, just chill out. I'm not here to hurt you, that kind of thing, right? Whereas my opponent is a well-trained grappler that I'm at war with, an action hand might look a little bit different. And we don't know. We're going to play with that. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But that's basically what happens next. And in understanding action hand, if one of my arms is dedicated to action, then automatically my other arm should be dedicated to what? Grappling and control. In this scenario, I'm controlling the top of his gear. They're holding onto his vest or his shoulder on the far side. Sometimes this can look like waist control or controlling his belt to keep him pinned. And an action hand, this is something we talk about in mixed martial arts all the time, an action hand is paid for. You don't get an action hand for free. The action hand happens and is most effective when the rest of my body is involved in grappling. So you'll notice I have head position. You'll notice that I'm starting to get my legs involved, putting my pocket on his pocket. This is super important, getting my lower body. You'll notice that my outside leg is driving in this scenario. If my hand starts grappling, well now my action becomes my leg, right? Maybe I had to secure my gear and now I'm trying to just hold him out of position or whatever this looks like, right? The goal is going to be we're going to teach our students how to designate the action hand, what types of actions we take, and this can vary from student to student. When we're building a fighter and we bring them in and we start introducing them to a system, the beginning is about telling them, hey man, this is what we do and this is how we do it. And we show that to them. And then once they understand that, ultimately that system needs to be adapted to them. How do they fight? How do they win? What are their strong skill sets? Where are their weaknesses? This sort of thing.
Right.
I would imagine that the same concepts are going to apply to the students that we're working with, depending on who they are, right? Police officer, SWAT, an operator, whatever, right? Different rules of engagement, different strategies, different scenarios that will pan out. And I'm really excited about looking into that. Different tools, right? What do I have on me? What does he have on him? What gear do I need to secure with my action hand? What gear do I need to remove from him with my action hand?
Right.
Things like that, right? And then also learning that you got to be fast with this stuff. We talked about recycling head position on the last one. If I'm in the process of recycling my head position to the opposite side, I need to be able to understand that my action hand changes sides as my head position changes sides, and all of these things. Yeah, does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So, without getting into too much, this becomes a pretty large portion of the curriculum, is because we can't just hold a person. We can't, in a fight, I can't just hold you here because they're going to separate us.
Right.
In this scenario, I can't just hold you there because I'm not effective. I need to be able to pin you and still get stuff done. I need to be able to pin you and chirp my radio maybe, or whatever this looks like, right? I mean, I'm not an operator, obviously, so if I'm talking out of my ass with this, I don't mean to be, but the things that I envision as I'm writing my notes and I'm developing this is the use of a radio, the securing of gear, the assisting in grappling to score takedowns, assisting in pain compliance and damage to get you to chill out.
Checking them for weapon systems, removing their weapon systems and getting rid of them.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. These types of things.
Hey, full disclosure, guys, you're gonna see this thing, but there's no plates in this, so don't look at me like, you didn't have plates. We're slowly adding the gear as we go because obviously we're developing this system. So then next will be plates, then it'll be mags, then it's gonna be full kit, everything I would carry. So if you see this and you see that there's no plates, just know that it's because we're slowly starting to implement our gear into the system so we could see how it changes it and then how we need to develop it as we go.
Yeah, so we can run through this a little bit. I'll just give you some examples. Just kind of watch me fight and you will watch me use my action hand for various things. So you're going to be trying to scoot down the wall, try to take away my head position, things like that. And we're just going to go nice and light, and I'm just going to play a little bit and see what does it look like to have an action hand. Yeah? All right, let's go. So in this scenario, what did I do? My action hand started in grappling, passed his action hand off to the other one, and then I got him in a nice little pin.
All right, guys, so hope you enjoyed that video. I'm glad to see that the guys that are following along, for those of you who are following along with the progression of this program, we're super excited about it. It's gonna be badass. And this is just one aspect. We still have the Green Beret side of teaching CQB and focusing in on CQB and really improving tactics. And that got me tired.
Yeah, it's about building, again, this whole series that we're in right now, this is the early stuff. It's the day one, it's the first day of training stuff.
Yeah.
It's the building the fundamentals. It's saying, hey, how have we been using wall fighting? What is the data giving us back? What is effective? Let's teach you that, and let's start looking at how your gear, your equipment, the room you're fighting in and the scenarios, how do those variables change this, and how do we make those adjustments?
Absolutely, thanks, man.
Yep.
Got better luck than that, dude. I was dying. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that video. We'll see you on the next one.